I will make sure that I get my news coverage from a reliable source.
Hey players, good morning players, good morning players, all players, hey players, Musty, Marjorie, Frumpy Duck. This is incitement of an insurrection. How they suspended her without explanations. This witness wasn't shown on camera because she was underage, and a spokesperson for Mayor Jacob Fry said to the motherfucking Duck, who said the mariachi band being placed outside of his house. This is Double D Momo, reporter for the Black Green News, where I'm black and the news is always accurate. Player, grab your teacup. It's time for Real Tea with Double D. Hey players, how are you all doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Tea with Double D. Of course, I am Double D, and we are on the GSMC Podcasting Network. So excited to be with you all tonight to record a brand new episode, and we have some political tea to talk tonight. This is going to be a sort of short episode because I don't have a whole lot to talk about. It's been a little bit quiet, a little bit somber for some reason, probably because of this vicious Omicron variant that has come to wreak havoc on the world. And I declare, honey, it is a disgrace. And I also got one thing I got to make a video about that you guys are bugging the crap out of me, which is the situation in Shreveport, Louisiana with the Dads on Duty. Well, one of the members of the Dads on Duty, which I believe he's an originator, like a creator or one of the founders of the Dads on Duty. Honey, that situation is a hot boo-boo shitty mess. So I'll be making a video about that, hopefully, after I get done with this podcast. So I'm not going to hold you long. I just wanted to get on here and record a new episode for all my podcast listeners out there. I really appreciate you all. And I'll let you know right now that I am recording live on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm going to say hello to all of you out there. Hi, players. How are you all doing? I hope that you all are doing okay. Y'all know the routine. When I'm recording a podcast, I won't be able to speak with you as much as I would like because the people out in podcasting world cannot see you. So I don't want to make them feel some type of way because they can't see what's going on. They can only hear it. So it's only right for me to kind of focus my attention on just the recording. But I appreciate y'all for coming. Y'all know I love to have an audience when I am recording these podcasts. So thank you for being here. I will tell everyone out there again in Facebook land, please like the video. If you are in YouTube land, please like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed. In Facebook, make sure you are following the Facebook page so you can keep up on all the news and tea. And if you want, make sure you go over and my podcast, The Real Tea with Double D, is available on all streaming platforms, Amazon, Spotify, Apple. If you want to do an Apple review, that would be great, just to keep those good reviews coming in. I really appreciate you all for being here tonight. So, of course, you know, whenever I start these deals off, I got to start talking about COVID first. And, you know, I'm waiting for the day when COVID is so obsolete that we don't have to talk about it so much. I don't know about you all, and President Biden actually said that today in his speech, that he is tired of COVID. And I will tell you that he knows that everyone is tired. And I will tell you, I am one of the ones. I said this last time, and I'll say it again. I am sick and tired of the COVID-er, okay? So as you know, the Omicron variant has came along, and right now it is supposed to be responsible for 73% of the active cases right now of COVID, which is, I mean, that is a rapid spread, because I remember talking about this like 2 weeks ago for the first time, and now I'm hearing that 73% of all new cases are this Omicron variant. Wow, that is insane. That is really insane to hear that high number of 73%. So President Biden wants to get prepared for these new cases. He wants to stay on top of it. I commend him for not ducking and hiding. I guess there's no way he could, but well, there is. You know, we did have Frumpy Dump, who, you know, misled the American public to thinking that COVID wasn't anything but a common cold. I've got to be honest with you. When I heard about COVID, and when I first initially heard about it, I was like, oh, this is just a ploy for them to get some money. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking. I was like, they just trying to create some miracle vaccine and they're gonna get money. People are not gonna die. This is just an upset. And then I went to go buy some toilet paper and all the toilet tissue was gone. I was like, I declare, what a disgrace. And then, of course, people started getting sick and then people around me. And then my black ass got nervous as hell and started wearing an N95 mask, honey. My husband got me an N95 mask from his job. He works at a plant. And they have those type of masks out there, honey. Child, it is a mess. So again, let me get back on task. I done flew off the handle here. Okay. So President Biden, he delivered some remarks today on COVID-19 and what he plans to do to try to I guess fight, the new variant. And so one of the things he said he's going to do is he's going to have several more federal run testing sites. They'll be opening across the country in areas of high need. He's also going to have the federal government to purchase 600 million rapid tests to be distributed to Americans via a website beginning in January. And then he's also going to have the federal government 1,000 military medical workers and millions of pieces of PPE will be deployed to hospitals in need. So that is a way that he is planning to head head this off, this new surge of COVID cases with this Omicron variant. And I'm going to just play you a little snippet of his speech so you can kind of get a feel for what President Biden was trying to convey as far as boosters are concerned.
How concerned should you be about Omicron, which is now the dominant variant in this country, and it happened so quickly? The answer is straightforward. If you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason to be concerned. You're at a high risk of getting sick. And if you get sick, you're likely to spread it to others, including friends and family. The unvaccinated have a significantly higher risk of ending up in a hospital or even dying. Almost everyone who has died from COVID-19 in the past many months has been unvaccinated. Unvaccinated. But if you're among the majority of Americans who are fully vaccinated, and especially if you've gotten the booster shot, that third shot, you have much less reason to worry. You have a high degree of protection against severe illness. But because Omicron spreads so easily, we'll see some fully vaccinated people get COVID, potentially in large numbers. There will be positive cases in every office, even here in the White House, among the vaccinated from Omicron. But these cases are highly unlikely to lead to serious illness. Vaccinated people who get COVID may get ill, but they're protected from severe illness and death. That's why you should still remain vigilant.
So that was President Biden's part of his remarks today. He's encouraging people to get the booster shot. Dr. Fauci has been encouraging people to get their boosters. I'm going to encourage you to get your boosters if you have not already. It's very important that you get vaccinated so that way you can be prepared if you were to get COVID. I actually had a scare last week with my son who was exposed at school a little. Of course, my son is 3 and my son is 2 and my daughter is 3. He goes to daycare. And one of the children came in and had 101 fever and had COVID. So I was nervous for myself. For my kids mostly because they're not vaccinated, and also for myself too, and my husband. No one wants to get COVID. No one wants to get COVID. And if there's some way that I can, not get so sick, because I had COVID last year in November. And it was not fun. It was not fun to have. And if there's a way for me to if I do get it, if there's a way for me not to get as ill as I did when I had it the first time, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But fortunately for us, when we tested Friday, we tested negative. So nobody has COVID, although the daycare is still closed because they're not allowed to open until the 27th because of the the child having COVID in there, and they also had to get the building clean. But fortunately for us, we did not have COVID, and I did check on the other child today, and the other child was fine. So that was good to hear, that that child was okay. But I'm telling you, it's a scary feeling when you hear that you've had an exposure to COVID. So I'm going to encourage you to get vaccinated if you have not, and get your booster if you are eligible, and take care of yourselves as well as each other. Y'all remember that? Jerry Springer. So we're going to skip along here and move on to the next subject at hand. I'm going to give you guys an update on the trial for the murder of Daunte Wright. Kim Powder, Miss Kim Powder. Today we were in the first full day of deliberations. They started deliberations yesterday, but we were in the first full day of deliberations. And I tell you, man, the jury actually sent up some questions today, and they kind of give me a little bit of pause, and I really like to know what you all think about it. So they sent up two questions, and the first question was, they sent it up to Judge Regina Chu. And let me backpedal a little pussy pop. I love this judge. I don't know if you all got a chance to actually watch any of the trial or to listen to Regina, but coming from the trial that I just came from, which was, and I'm not going to even say Ahmaud Arbery, because that judge was decent too, but the lawyers were just out of whack. But Regina, but the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, coming from that and then coming over to a trial with Regina, oh my God, Judge Chu, she was amazing. She had one word objections. There was no outrage or upset in the courtroom. It was she ran her courtroom very tightly. It was a tight ship. They had everything prepared. They had headphones, so we would be privy to the sidebars and things like that. It was really, really nice to see. And I appreciated the way that she ran her courtroom. So I'm going to give her some flowers here and say that she was definitely a good judge. But now the jury sent up two questions. And the first question was, if the jury cannot reach consensus, what is the guidance around how long and what steps should be taken? Child, I had to clutch my invisible damn pearls. What you mean if y'all can't reach a consensus? So basically what they're saying is that what happens if they cannot reach a verdict in this case? So basically this is not a cut and dry case. The defense has actually made some leeway in what they were trying to convey if they're asking that question. That's just my opinion. Would love to know what you all think. The next question was if they are allowed to remove the weapon. They asked if they could remove the zip ties that were securing the weapon to an evidence box so they can hold the weapon. So apparently they wanted to see, in my opinion, they want to see the difference in the weight, by holding it. So the judge did allow them to do that. So, but that first question really gives me pause, and it's like, okay, the defense did make some leeway in saying that this was an accident, which we all know it was an accident. But again, in this, with the two charges that she has, which is first-degree manslaughter and second-degree manslaughter, the prosecutors did not have to prove intent. It may not have been her intention to kill Daunte Wright. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it was her that caused his death. You know what I'm saying? It was her. It was due to negligence that caused his death. The only thing that the prosecutor has to prove is that Kim Powder should have known the difference between her gun and her taser. And when she didn't, she was negligent in causing the death of Daunte Wright. And we can't deny that. Being a 26-year veteran that was just recently had a refresher course on her taser, how did she not know that her taser was on her left and her gun was on her right? You know what I'm saying? How do you make that difference? I understand that things move fast, but just because it's an accident, does that mean that she shouldn't be charged with a crime? I mean, this case really is akin to Botham Jean in Texas. If you guys remember Botham Jean, Amber Geiger walked into his apartment and claimed she thought he was an intruder, and she shot him. You know what I'm saying? She got 10 years for that. The judge actually handed her a Bible. I'll never forget that part of the trial. Well, the sentencing, rather. So this case is really akin to that. You know what I'm saying? Kim Powder, she didn't have the intention to kill Dante Wright, but she did. You know what I'm saying? So the jury asking that question at that moment in time really gives me pause in this case, because do they not understand that they don't have to prove intent? Her saying is an accident does not absolve her from culpability. And that's where I'm having some issues kind of understanding why this question, because honestly, you're indicating to me that y'all having some issues back there trying to come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to have to wait and see what comes out in the washing and the ranching of the situation. But I declare, honey, that is very sus to me, and I do not like it. I don't like it at all. Um, and I will let you guys know that Kim Powder is being charged again with second degree murder, which is causing someone's death due to culpable negligence by creating an unreasonable risk and consciously taking chances, causing death or great bodily harm. Okay. That is the second degree manslaughter charge. And that is punishable up to 10 years and a fine up to $20,000. And then the first degree manslaughter charge is a felony punishable up to 15 years imprisonment with a fine of up to $30,000. So, you know, one of those, they got to hit that. You know what I'm saying? Because listen to that. I'm going to read that again, and I'm going to read it without stumbling. Y'all know how a player be fucking up. Okay. Second degree manslaughter is causing someone's death through culpable negligence by creating an unreasonable risk and consciously taking chances of causing death and great bodily harm. Kim Powder, 26 years, just a month prior, had taser training. How is she not culpable? How is she not guilty? I don't understand. And I think and I also think that in that case, in this situation, she's going to have an issue. I think that excuse me, let me get this together. So I think that them playing that body camera footage where Kim kind of like collapsed, and when she first did it, she was like, "Oh my God, I shot him." You know what I'm saying? I think that probably played a hand in pulling at their hearts, the jury's heartstrings, because it was like, fuck, you know what I'm saying? I made a mistake. People can do it. But at the end of the day, is she allowed to do it? Because you have a human life in your hands. It's totally different with me and my job. You know, I could go to work and make a mistake on a piece of paper, and I can print another piece of paper. You can't print another life. So yeah, I declare, honey, we're gonna have to see what comes out in the Washington ranching of that, because that is that is really giving me pause, and it's really bothering me that they had that question. But we'll just have to wait and see. First degree manslaughter, let's go over that really quick, is causing someone's death while committing or attempting to commit a lesser crime, a misdemeanor or a gross misdemeanor in a way that is reasonable person could foresee would cause death or great bodily harm. That is first degree. So sad, so sad. Rest in peace to Dante Wright. I'm still sending positive vibes and prayers to his family. I know this is a hard time for them as they have to go through this trial. His mother's testimony was gut-wrenching. It was hard to watch. So we're going to skip over here to another subject, which is the January 6th Select Committee. You know, they're getting on my damn nerves, because it really shouldn't take this long to come to what we to the conclusion of what we already know. That Frumpy Dump was trying to turn over this election. They playing this shit. This shit got out of hand, and they was spreading shit on the walls trying to overthrow the government. I'm so sick. You guys, I promise, like when I see the updates for the January 6th Select Committee now, I don't even bother y'all anymore with them, because honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And then these hearings, some of them they have done publicly, but the ones that I want to see where they're interviewing these people, like they interviewed some of the organizers of the event. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see all this other fuck shit where you're gonna be sitting up here putting me to sleep. I want to see you question somebody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I'm so tired, so tired in Amazing D's voice. I declare. So let me give you this little brief update here. So conspiracy theorist and right winger Alex Jones said he will not comply with the January 6th Select Committee subpoena. So he has sued the January 6th Select Committee, following in the steps of his leader, Frumpy, to the motherfucking dump. So in this lawsuit, he seeks to block the subpoena. And he claims that he should be protected under the First Amendment. He says that he will also decline to answer questions so that he not incriminate himself. Why in the freaking hell are you wasting our time, Alex? Just go down. Why are you wasting the court's time and why are you wasting our time? Just take your funky ass down there and say, I refuse to answer any questions under the grounds that it may incriminate me. They already got the evidence against you, sir. I really don't understand why they're asking you to come down there anyway, but I digress. They know you're not going to answer any questions. So we have Alex Jones. Michael Flynn has actually did the same, alleging the same. He's actually alleging executive privilege. And then, of course, we know we have Scott Perry over here that has decided not to comply with the January 6th Select Committee's January 6th Select Committee. Now, they haven't subpoenaed Scott Perry yet. They have just invited him. So I'm wondering if they're going to go ahead and subpoena him. And then if he refuses to comply, are they going to charge him with contempt? That's what I'm wondering their next steps are going to be, because that was merely an invitation for him to come. But they haven't subpoenaed him as of yet. So back to Alex Jones. Alex Jones is supposed to testify on January 10th. He's filed this lawsuit, so we'll just have to wait and see what comes out in the Washington Oration. It's probably going to be the same thing that came out for Frumpy Dump and all the others that have tried to sue the January 6th Select Committee. Those people can subpoena you to come down there. It's just up to you whether you want to answer questions. It's just exactly, Andrea, delay. It's a Frumpy Dump usual tactic every single freaking time. And I declare, honey, it is a disgrace. And I'm plain sick of it. I really am. I had to drink some tea, y'all. My throat got a little scratchy. So Alex Jones is not going to comply. Scott Perry is not going to comply. Michael Flynn is not going to comply. Yet again, another Republican is not going to comply with the January 6th Select Committee. Are we surprised by this? And you know why they are not going to comply?
He did that shit. Guilty. He did that shit. Guilty.
Exactly. They did that shit. They guilty as fuck. Absolutely. Okay. So let's go. And then while we're on the Frumpy Dump, and this is actually, you know what, you guys, I have ran through this episode. I got one more subject to talk about, and that's it. Y'all put it in the comments if y'all got anything else y'all want me to go over, because I have ran through this episode. This is how it has been really, really somber today. There hasn't been a whole lot going on. So this wasn't a good day, but I had to get this out because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do one, and I didn't do one last week. Okay, so let's scurry on over to on January 6th, your boy Frumpy to the motherfucking dump. On the anniversary of January 6th, on the anniversary of 1/6, January 6th, the shit show, the bullshit, smearing feces all over the wall, the insurrection, the riot, whatever the hell you want to call it, the stop the steal, whatever you want. Frumpy Dump has scheduled a news conference from Mar-a-Lago on that day. Oh, yes, honey. Former President Frumpy to the motherfucking dump announced that he would hold a news conference from Mar-a-Lago on January 6th, the 1-year anniversary of the riot at the U.S. Capitol that the former president himself is accused of inciting. I declare, honey, what a fucking disgrace. So he says, why isn't the unselect committee of highly partisan political hacks investigating the cause of the January 6th protest, which was the rigged presidential election of 2020? That's what Frumpy Dump said, which we all know that is a mother freaking lie. The former president went on to cite several states where he claimed the numbers don't work for them or even come close. He also sought to reframe the November 2020 election as the insurrection. So he wants the November 2020 election to be called an insurrection instead of the day that his supporters tried to overthrow the goddamn government. So he says, oh Lord, y'all, I done lost my spot. Oh, he says, I will be having a news conference on January 6th at Mar-a-Lago to discuss all of these points and more, Trump said. Until then, remember the insurrection took place on November 3rd. It was a completely unarmed protest of a rigged election that took place on January 6th. Oh, Lord, have mercy. This man is a complete buffoon. He is a complete buffoon. And I just don't understand. And meanwhile, while he's doing that, Nancy Pelosi has planned a prayer visual. That's what she's going to be doing that day. She's going to have a prayer visual. I declare. I hope that Frumpy Dump don't talk about the vaccine at his news conference, because it might go a little something like this.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so
Don't. No. That's all. It's a very tiny group of it.
Oh yes, honey. Frumpy Dump and Bill O'Reilly was at a damn at some kind of thing that they charging $100 to get in, and they booed their asses when they start talking about the booster shot, about booster and COVID-19. Frumpy Dump actually said, don't let them take it away from you. Take responsibility for it. Go ahead and get your shot. And they was booing his ass the whole entire time. I was clutching my invisible damn pearls. But what do you expect, Frump? What do you expect from your people? You know what I'm saying? He said nobody should be making you do the vaccine, but don't let them take it away from you. Go ahead and get your vaccine, get protected from COVID. That's what he said. I declare, honey, what a disgrace. I don't understand what he expects for people to do when he sat on his ass and touted conspiracy theories, telling people to drink bleach. He has downed the vaccine from the freaking get-go. When he was vaccinated himself, they constantly talk about these mandates and all that kind of stuff, which in all actuality, we shouldn't even need any mandates for people to get vaccinated. You've had a vaccine card since the day your ass was born. You've been vaccinated. It's ridiculous that we having to go over this. I understand, I'm going to just speak for the Black community. I understand the Black community having hesitation and not wanting to get vaccinated. But I feel like now this vaccine has been around long enough for you to draw a conclusion and say, hey, this is a help. Look at the numbers. Do your research, and don't be looking at websites like mypillow.com for your research on the vaccine. Actually look at the CDC website. But what can Frumpy Dump expect when he's done this fuck shit this entire time? I declare, what a disgrace. I'm not surprised by it at all. So they booed his ass right on off stage. He barely could get through the rest of his speech, and honestly, he shouldn't have got through it. Whew, child. Now let's move on to my last subject of the night. Damn, this is a short episode. I have nothing else to talk about other than this. And I hate to do this to my people out in podcast land, but I do have to show this. So this is kind of sort of a feel-good story. Well, it is a feel-good story in a way. It's sad that it happened, but it's really a feel-good story the way that it turned out in the end. So in Ohio, a man has been honored after stopping a Kroger robbery suspect of an 87-year-old woman. So what happened is that this woman On December 5th, 87-year-old Pat Goings was shopping at a Kroger when a 58-year-old man, Derek Vaughn, attempted to take her purse. A 27-year-old man, Deshaun Presley, witnessed the crime and wrestled Vaughn until law enforcement arrived. So they held him down. I mean, he beat his ass. He beat the shit out of him. And I want to show you guys the video. And they have actually, the sheriff's office has actually awarded that young man with a, I think it's called the Citizens Award for what he did. So I want to show you guys that video. I'm sorry you can't see it in podcasting world, but you can listen to the award ceremony because I kind of want to talk about the, I believe that was the sheriff. I want to talk about his speech. I'm not feeling it. Listen up.
Everybody in that store. He came out the store because you were chasing him and you were on him.
Yeah.
And he was running as fast as he could.
Yeah, he was.
And he's probably never ran that fast in his life.
No.
And he's probably not appreciated the police showing up that quick in his life, which we didn't get there real quick, winky wink. You took and made what we call a citizen's arrest. And you make us very, very proud. Everybody, just not here, but everybody in the country, man.
Yeah.
And we're proud of you, and I mean that. And thank you for what you've done.
So hold on to that right there, and they can get you a little picture of that.
Come right on over
Proud
there,
of you, man.
You guys are right in there. Is that a picture or what, folks? Hey, all right. Thank you, sir. Oh, look, his camera's broke. We got to take 10 more minutes to...
It was a sweet moment, and that was a good thing that this young man did. That Deshaun Presley, and but I didn't like dude's speech. That wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? What he said, talk about he probably didn't appreciate the police coming. Would you have said that if he was white? I didn't care for that portion of it. This young man was there to receive his award. He done an amazing thing that a lot of people would not have done. And why would you taint it with that? Like that, I didn't care for that. I really want to see some comments coming in here. I mean, I love the hug. Everything was great about the moment. But that part that he said, this guy didn't appreciate, and I know people say, we always think making things about race, but come on now. Why would you say that? It sort of ruined that sweet moment for me that this young man was honored. And then you say something like that. Like, why you just couldn't give him his flowers and give him his accolades and go on? Why you had to say something like that? I didn't like that at all, but maybe maybe I'm tripping, y'all. I don't know, but that just didn't sit well in my spirit. Y'all ponder over it. I'm sorry about that in Facebook land. In podcasting land, there was a brief pause there because we were seeing what the young man did, which he chased that ass down and beat the shit out of him. And they actually held him there until the police got there. So that guy was arrested and he was charged with robbery, a felony of the third degree, and theft, and a felony of, he was charged with a robbery and of the third degree and theft of the fifth degree. So they're both felonies. Absolutely. So that was a good moment, good feel-good moment that young man decided to risk his life and go out there and save that lady's purse, because he honestly could have just, kept on doing what he was doing. He didn't have to stop and do anything. So that's a good story to head into Christmas hearing and seeing something positive and something, a young man, people stepping up to do things that they don't have to do. I always appreciate when somebody does something for me that they don't have to do. You ain't got to do a damn thing, but you did it. So I always appreciate things a whole lot more. I tell my husband that all the time. You know, when you do stuff without me begging you to do it, I really appreciate it, dog. Like, I really appreciate it. So y'all, that is the end of my show tonight. I really appreciate you guys for joining me. Like I said, it was a pretty short show. I really didn't have a whole lot. It's been kind of quiet. I may come back later on in the week if something big happens. Right now, I need to go and record this video for my people. Come and get mad at me because I have not told them what's going on in Shreveport, Louisiana with Dads on Duty. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that because that's coming right on up. I'm going to do this as soon as I get off and upload this to the GSMC Podcasting Network. So you guys remember to subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you like the video if you're on Facebook. And I appreciate y'all for joining me. And I'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all for joining The Real Tea with Double D. Have a good night.